No, we're not recording.
They punched us.
Let the debate start.
So we are doing the do celebrities get away with more crime? We were decided for yes they do, because we're going to discuss that, well, simply put, they do get away with more crime, because they are more popular, just in general. We elevate these particular people to such a high status that we allow them to believe that they are above the law. If we ourselves did not make the mistake of doing that and held them to the same standards that we do to ourselves, then they would not be able to get away with much crime.
So we are here to deal with the fact that they should be held accountable to the same standards of law as everybody else because they are human. Regardless of how much we love them, and because of the people they represent, others in their line of work, the real people behind the mask of their characters should be held accountable for their actions.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Pause. You may proceed.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're saying that celebrities don't get away with more crimes. A lot of people like to think that they do because we have this perfect image of them and we hold them at such a high standard. And that's the reason that they don't, is because they, inadvertently with being a celebrity, you have to be like a role model-esque character. And if they committed any kind of crime, like a serious crime, that goes against their whole career. That affects a lot of things in their life. So they have a lot of things that are keeping them in line and doing the right thing.
Yeah, and it goes on to say that because they're celebrities, they're constantly being like in the public eye, and that goes to just be like they can't do anything without the entire world knowing. So to commit a crime would be absolutely necessarily impossible.
And sure, Snoop Dogg might, hit a little thing once in a while. But
Yeah.
he might be in Colorado, so it's all right.
We're all okay with Snoop.
Yeah. He's not the argument here.
All right, start up.
Okay, back to you guys.
Good intro, guys.
Yeah,
That was a great job. No, I liked your points.
That was very well enunciated. Okay, so yeah, celebrities just get away with more crime simply because they're more popular. That's pretty much it. Yes, they might be within the public eye, but since we keep an eye on them all the time, we are unsurprised that they do these kinds of things. So there's so many celebrities that get away with DUIs, and they're doing just, frankly, kind of weird shit, actually. I'm sorry to use a French term such as that, of course. But, where is it actually? Yeah, according to BuzzFeed, I know it's actually a reputable source, right? We can get that out of the way right now. But Matthew McConaughey himself was arrested in 1999 with possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia after a neighbor made a house noise complaint to his house. What the police had found that night was that Matthew himself was dancing naked in his home with two other people in his house, one of them handcuffed, however not detained, just by choice. He was also playing the bongos really loud. Yeah.
While in handcuffs?
No.
Oh.
No. Another gentleman was
Gotcha.
observing in handcuffs for whatever the reason. But the drug charges were eventually dropped, but he pleaded guilty to the noise offense and paid $50. So right away, you can see that $50 is not very much money for Matthew McConaughey to just fork out. He probably had that in one of his, like right next to his marijuana bag. Clearly. But yeah, things like that they can just get away with, and we still hold him into such a light because he's such a great actor, so that we're kind of unsurprised that unsurprised this kind of stuff happens.
And so they can get away with more crimes simply because, let's face it, money talks. In many cases that involve other people, celebrities can simply make settlement and pay them off. Justin Bieber was caught drag racing in Los Angeles under the influence of marijuana, and at first they assumed he was under the influence of alcohol. He was offered a plea deal that ordered him 12 hours of anger management, and he had to donate $50,000 to Our Kids organization. In exchange, his DUI was dropped because it wasn't alcohol, it was marijuana in his system, but still, the effects would be the same. Yes, he had to pay $50,000, but for someone who makes $60 to $80 million a year, 50 grand is nothing. Also, personal bias. If law enforcement happens to like a celebrity, they are more likely to get away with the crime because they're popular.
Good points, fellas. Very respectable.
That's a very good
You guys done?
Okay.
So, our first one was a celebrity backlash. What? I think it's just a red guy. It was celebrity backlash for getting caught doing such things. Just it slanders their names, ruins their reputation for such things. Even if they do get like necessarily off the hook or like let off with a deal, like that could happen to anyone. Like anyone could be let off with a simple plea or such like that. But the backlash, because they're celebrities, their fans no longer support them, or like they're constantly ridiculed for something that they did, and that's just something that comes with being a celebrity too. Even if you get away with the crime, you still have lasting implications from it.
Our next point is that back to the public eye thing, they're always in the public eye. The media is always waiting. It's always watching for that next story that they can release on a celebrity that just drives them into the dirt. Like we said, they're a role model and they're held on that high standard. So being able to, I think, like when you guys said in your intro that we let them get away with it, I think it's harder for them to get away with it when they're held at such a high standard, because we expect them to act like good people, because they should be what we all want to be like. And then that goes into the whole perfect image thing, where people like to think that they're worse than they really are, because we all have flaws, so we like to think that they do too, which I'm sure they do. But the people eat what the media writes. So when the media is always waiting and just watching behind the corners at celebrities trying to find something that they're doing wrong, it keeps celebrities on their toes, ready to not do something bad like rob a bank or whatever. And the public ultimately determines the success of a celebrity, so they have to make sure that they have the best image possible out there, because they can't risk their image.
Yeah, and another point that we wanted to make was that, well, where they do get away with some crimes, there are, in certain situations, the same thing happens to regular, like everyday folk. Like how many times has a regular person been pulled over by the cops and then just let off with a warning because they don't have time or just some minor inconvenience. But like the only reason it seems like celebrities get away with it more often is because we see that. Whereas like we're not going to see every regular Joe that the police let go. We'll see every single celebrity that was detained by an officer because they're a famous person. So it just seems like they get away with more because we actually see it. Those are our points.
Good points, guys.
Thanks.
Excellent drawing.
Yeah,
That's good. That's Matthew McConaughey on drugs.
I knew it.
1 minute break before the open debate.
I haven't made the bongos yet.
Don't forget the handcuffs.
And you can pause it, Jeremy, if you like.
Don't raise your hands for 5 minutes.
I'm raising my hand, just adjusting my hair.
Okay, go good.
All right, we'll go. So one of the points that you guys made was that $50,000 was what he had to pay, and you don't think because he's a celebrity and he has like $6 billion or whatever that wasn't enough for him, or however much he has. I don't know.
$60 to $80 million.
$60 to
a year.
$80 million a year. Yeah, because of that, you say that he should have to be fined more, but just because he's a celebrity? Because I mean, if someone else got caught in a similar situation, they'd also have to pay the $50,000. And whereas it might not be much to Justin Bieber, if it were just a regular person, it would be like probably devastating to have to pay a fine like that. So are you suggesting that just because he's a celebrity, he should have to pay more?
I'm saying that it was very lenient, is what happened there. It's not the amount of money, it's more the fact that they pay that much, of course, but also spend only 12 hours of anger management class, which, I mean, for Bieber, as you can tell, it hasn't really worked out very well for him. As well as, what was it, just 50,000?
And 12 hours of anger management, and his DUI charges were dropped.
Yeah, DUI charges were dropped, which, where was it? For DUI offenses, you're supposed to spend a night in jail, 3 years of probation, and have $2,000 in fines, which isn't $50,000, of course. That's for the first year for this regular person. Now, comparatively, yes, of course, $50,000 is more, but I'm not really arguing the money, and more just the actual leniency of what he was actually charged with.
And also for DUI first offenses, they're supposed to have 4 months of alcohol classes and immediate license suspension for 90 days.
But you came to the conclusion that it wasn't a DUI.
It was a DUI under the influence of marijuana.
Are you saying that
It's
driving
still
under
under
the
the
influence of
influence.
marijuana is not the same as driving under the influence of alcohol? Because we both know those are
Whoa,
drugs.
whoa, whoa, we're all pretty. Let's
And we also have this paper which
What?
is from debate.org. The
Oh, they're
difference
cheating.
is,
They're cheating.
hey, the people on the side that say all it is no, 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 no.
Wow, what?
Yeah, there's actually two comments on the side of no, that they should not be charged, or they should not be
That
held
are actually
accountable.
This
legit,
person
that aren't
commented
just saying
twice, so
no, no, no,
clearly-
no, no,
No,
no,
the
no.
that same person commented like 12 times.
Yeah,
for
these
one
are the
person.
same.
Yes,
person.
they would know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is that on the side of no, that was the only person who commented.
See.
However, there was like 75%, the other 75%, so I commented just as long as that one single person on that one.
Look this up.
Response
Yeah.
is genuine. I believe.
But this is
You
one
know,
response.
That's just one response. No, it's more of a just the idea of what the kind of person who
You
wants.
could have wrote this, alright? So
We actually have that.
whatever.
How do I know that
Whatever.
Josh
In
didn't
one of
spend an
your
hour
last
going,
points,
no, no, no,
actually,
no,
you
no.
did say for comparison, that so I have to pay a lot less compared. We're going back to the whole Beaver thing.
Mm-mm.
But we have another person, Nicole Ritchie, actually was arrested for a DUI going the wrong way on a freeway. Although the ramifications are obvious with dangerous driving and lights and danger and stuff, sorry, what was it?
Right there.
Thank you. She was actually released 82 minutes later due to overcrowding in the jail. That right there says that, like, why don't you just stuff her with the rest of them? Is what I'm personally thinking, because just because she's a celebrity, she should not just be like just let go. Because they're worth the same thing as we said before, that a first DUI offense should at least be spending the night in jail, 3 years of probation, $2,000 fine, all that jazz. She got nothing. After, like, obviously this one is actually a DUI.
Well, with that, were there, jeez, I can't hear, that's weird.
I know, that's what I'm
Yeah, do you have, like, was there any other charges on her, or was she just completely scot-free? Like, did she have to pay any fines or anything?
No.
Because like with Bieber, for example, he still had to pay things, so in a sense, he still didn't really get away with it. But, I mean, he got away with the other charges, yes, but that's, I mean, he probably cried out of it, let's be honest, alright?
But obviously didn't ruin his career, so
Yeah,
even though he is in the limelight, that doesn't really mean that's gonna affect him, because which judge was it again that wanted
It
to?
was
Judy? No, not quite.
Judge.
Frank.
Joe Brown.
Joe
Judge-
Brown.
Joe Brown.
Yeah.
Judge
Love that guy.
Atfield, who was in charge of Justin's case, he simply stated, because Justin actually didn't show up to his court hearing, he had his lawyer go there, and the judge wanted the lawyer to repeat back to Justin, here is someone who is young, his whole life is ahead of him, he will just hopefully get the message.
Because he's such a role model to the younger generation. So he's going to not be charged for this reckless act of endangering lives.
Hopefully he will get the message.
I'm sure he got the message.
well, the real did you get the message?
Yeah, that judge should know.
And then he
And
says,
the judge.
he will grow up and he will use his talents positively, so is he teaching the younger people that it's okay to drive drunk, because, you know,
Right.
you might be able to get away with it.
That's fair.
You
But
do
I
want
mean-
to learn your lesson.
You come to the point of like,
And debate over?
Thanks, Michael, you saved me.
Don't shoot the messenger, 1 minute break before.
Yes,
Hello?
no, you get the last word.
After you.
yeah,
We
so we
started.
get last word.
Yeah, you asked first,
Yeah.
you get last
Oh.
word. You're a little short, everything is overhead, it's okay.
Oh. Hey, no personal
We're all
attacks.
pretty here. We already
Yeah,
said.
we're all pretty here.
Go ahead.
Alright, so like you said, although you might not see as many like everyday people getting away with things, it doesn't mean that celebrities don't get away with more crime. Just because you don't see it. There's probably other celebrities that actually get away with more crime that we don't know about, just as everyday people might get away with crime. Doesn't mean just because they're a celebrity, they don't get away with more crime.
What you said.
Throw that over.
Okay. Is it our turn? Okay.
It is.
So we were just saying in conclusion that if a person is liked more, then like if someone pulls them over just because they're a celebrity that they like, they might let them go. But that happens in small towns or like big cities. Like if the police officer knows you, he's probably gonna give you a lighter sentence just because he likes you and such like that. But at the end of the day, it's a really moot point because we can't really ever be sure how much crime is gotten away with, because if we knew about it, it wouldn't have been gotten away with at the end of the day. So we're both winners.
That was so much fun!